Don King! Don King! Don King!
Rob.
Oh, good God, it's getting busy. Opie and Anthony. Don King is on his way up. We got Adam Ferrara from Rescue Me in studio. Bill Burr playing the Trump Marina Saturday. We got the black light. We want to black light the pillow before Don King comes in here. Danny's got the black light.
Danny was blacklighting everyone's crotch as
That's
they walked
hilarious.
into the studio.
That is really funny.
And then he blacklighted Steve's ass.
And
just
back.
in case.
And back.
Yeah. Also, Anthony, Kenny came in a panic. There are so many people showing up for the show because this goes away in a couple days. Kenny's like, unless you let some people in studio, I got to cut it off and no one else is going to be allowed up here.
Wow.
So I'm thinking maybe Sam or E-Rock or somebody could kind of take a look at the crowd and bring some of the more famous listeners in studio.
Yes.
To make more
listeners.
room for other people.
Or the listeners with tits.
Like
This is great, like a velvet rope, kind of a
Sure.
Studio
That's it.
54. You're not good enough to be in here.
Oh, look at that. Big A right away.
Big A.
Take the big chair, Big A. Heather Heights made the cut.
Oh, yeah.
She's one of the newer famous listeners, Anthony.
Big A with that.
Coming out of nowhere as far as popularity goes. Sam is pointing at other people. Who else we got? Who else we got we're bringing in?
This is
Why would the mic work?
Oh, our favorite hole.
Wait, Janine. She makes balloon animals, Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
She makes balloon
she
animals,
made the
all right.
cut.
Out of.
Who else, Sam?
This is Chuck, who's been in here 1,000 times and never made an impact.
That's a great sweatshirt.
So why is he allowed in?
Because he's been here 1,000 times.
He's probably
Oh.
has come to more live shows than anyone, is what Sam is saying.
So you're throwing him a bone.
And
what
anyone-
a guy.
And he looks horrifically uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Let him in.
Yes.
Yeah. He looks like Kirk Hammett if he was a complete failure.
You know what? Anthony, I got one more to bring
I don't
in.
like
Yeah.
Big A's Jackie Gleason body.
Bill,
Can he somehow saying away we go?
And we have one more person coming in.
one more person coming in.
Don King!
Don King. It's Don King.
Well, sir, Don motherfucking King.
The famous Don King.
This is why Don King is successful. 8:30 schedule, 8:29.
You don't fuck around.
On-time guest ever.
You don't mess around, right, Don?
That is correct. That is correct. Only in America.
And he's only in America, and there he is in a red, white, and blue jacket on. He's got that denim is all airbrushed with Mount Rushmore's on there.
Iwo Jima.
Apparently, he's an Obama fan.
Marines. Oh, absolutely.
Apparently, an Obama. That's the biggest Obama button I ever saw in my life.
America fan, man. This time is
Well,
changed in America.
It certainly has.
Yes.
I'm taxed up the asshole. Thanks very much.
Yes.
Yes, well, you know, it's good to be able to get to write it on before you write it off. You know what I mean? So it's good to be taxed.
Is it?
Better than sitting on the
It's
stoop.
real. It's really not.
Better than sitting on the stoop.
Hey, didn't you have some tax problems in your day?
Yeah, I paid,
All right.
I paid $36 million one year, $36 million the next year.
Jesus.
Oh, gee.
I put out a big press release paying the taxes. No loopholes, paying the cash.
Do you actually
Yeah,
go to, do you do that like on your own easy form? Imagine if you go like H&R
Just do the easy.
That was good.
Whatever.
That's when times were good.
It's not enough boxes.
Times are bad now.
Don, what's up with the hair?
Well, the hair is the Wii game. The Wii game that we have that we're making now is a boxing game that is life. Life is boxing, and boxing is life. That's what people have to understand. It's a struggle.
No, I mean your hair, though. It's
Yeah,
not
I know,
like
but I'm
high.
telling you how the
It's
hair
not
got
high.
there because it's in the
Okay.
struggle, fighting all along. You know what I mean? And fighting for better jobs, for housing, for health care, and all the different things. Like ping, 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 you start going up, you know, reaching for the heavens because that's what we have to do.
Ah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
It's a metaphor.
Yes. Now you find me sitting here with the new game that's bringing on life, giving us our problems. You can pick your own champion, fight in Madison Square Garden, or fight at the Boardwalk in the Trump Taj Mahal. Wherever you want to be, you are the one. You are the star. This is the people's game.
And now, are you in the game in some capacity?
Yes, I have all the fighters that are there that were fighting, like real fighters like Larry Holmes, Joe Lewis, all of them. You can pick whoever you want to fight, Calzaghe. And then we strategize the game to meet your problems head of, frontward, head, would say, confront them. Rather than try to put your head in the sand like an ostrich and try to evade, procrastinate, you face your problem. Because if you run out of gas, there ain't no gas station in sight. You can't call timeout, send in a substitute. There's no substitute. You got to deal with your problems real and pragmatically right before you.
Now, do you get to have like a career stats in this game and work your way up?
Well, you have more than that. You have an exercise program. You have the jump rope, you have the heavy bag hitting, you have the exercises, and in order to play the game, you got to do these exercises.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you got a balance board which gives you coordination in your life. You must have balance in your life. So you have to coordinate so you can create and initiate rather than defend and improve all the time. You know what I mean? So you have to use your mind and use your body. So it really gives you fun while you're getting physical fitness, and at the same time, you become a champion of the people.
Did you have any problem getting any of the, because I know the fighters have to sign off to be in the game. Like, are there any relationships that were damaged with boxers where they wouldn't allow you to use them in the game, or it was you got everybody you wanted?
No, we get whoever we want because the guys want to be there. They want to be a part of progress and reform. As you know, custom and tradition is diametrically opposed to progress and reform. So it's always how we used to do it. How we used to do it don't count. Ain't nothing good about the good old days, but that they're gone. You must come on with the new, you know, and be able to deal with what is real and understand what it means to be a great American. America is the greatest country in the world by none. And
Not into the nostalgia.
Only one, people try to break in. This is the only country that try to break in instead of trying to break out. Everybody else talking, and people coming across the water every kind of way swimming. I got some Cubans that dived into the ocean to take a swim. They swim 90 miles to get here, and they had sharks jumping up and down trying to bite them. You know what I mean? They knock out the sharks and keep coming.
Is that in the game,
Freedom.
too?
Yeah, that's that.
That'd be a good part of the game.
He just fought in Madison Square Garden. We call him the swimmer. His name is Angelo Santana. What a terrific fighter he is.
Really?
Yeah. And undefeated right now. He ain't got 8-0, but look what he braved the inclement hazards of the weather. You know what I mean? And the ocean to get to America, to freedom, liberty. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty.
Do you have any problem with anything that goes on in America, or you just love America?
No, you got listen, you got ups and downs, you're gonna have problem with life. That's what makes this game. That was so on time, boy. Look like we had this thing orchestrated.
Oh, sure.
You know, when you got problems is what you have in everyday struggle of life. Without struggle, there's no progress. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have joys and sorrow, pain. You know, you're going to have these things, but you got to overcome them. You can't sit down and rest in your laurels and drown in your own tears. You must get knocked down. You get up, dust yourself off, get back into the game. You know what I mean? You got to be able to continue to fight and struggle on for a better America, black and white alike. Working together works.
Yeah.
I need him to call me every morning and just say
give you that pep speech.
just every morning with my coffee.
Because I'm just like, this country's great. It's full opportunity. I got to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
You should have that on an alarm clock.
Yeah.
Man, you'd have a pep. You'd have a pep in your step every day.
Don King alarm clock. You gotta look into that.
That's a good idea.
Everyone wakes up, they're so shocked their hair looks like yours.
Yeah.
America's the finest. Snooze. 9 minutes. Country in the world. Play the Wii game.
Yes. And you can get it on DS too. You know, for the little kids, they can spend their $20 and things. All the little kids is playing it, the old, the young, and it's an aphrodisiac. Because what you do is listen, you're talking when the moment is right.
Apple?
When you say CLO, the moment is right. The moment is right because you be so physically fit that everything that died comes back to life, is resurrected. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
and
right.
it gives you a chance to be able to be a part and parcel of the family again, like you should have been. You know what I mean? So this is the things you got to understand. When you're trading and working and playing this game, you're doing it for fun, but at the same time, automatically and systematically, you're becoming physically fit again.
It also cures cancer, Don.
Yes, well, you know what? If you keep your blood flowing right and you're doing all the things it does,
that's
prevent
healthy.
cancer.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
So you got to understand, if you're physically fit, you can't lay around lazy, lethargic, can't rise to the occasion, and then figure everything is going to happen for you. You got to break a sweat, man. Pick out your champion. Do what you got to do, but at the same time, it's fitting for you. It's making you feel good, so your little son, Johnny, your little girl, Mary, you can say, Daddy, you know, you're looking good. You know, you feel good. You look at Mommy again, and your eyes start to roll, and you think about, thanks for the memories, oh, how it used to be. You bring used to be back to the forefront.
As long as Mommy's playing also.
Yes.
She's not, you're out at the bar looking at something that might
different strokes for different folks, but don't condemn America because you can't hold your home.
Got a million of them.
Yes.
Hey, I just
have you met? Have you met? I want to talk to him about Obama.
No, we all were going for questions. Not only you, also Jimmy.
We all
were
were
like
chiming in. Have you met Obama?
Absolutely. Listen, it's changed. You know, on January the 9th and at noon, America gave birth to a new nation.
Day that will live in infamy?
Yes, the name Hope, Change, Freedom. You know what I mean? Conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. But you cannot forget the fallen heroes that marched, that sing, that cried, that died for this great country. Goodman, Cheney, Swerner, Viola Louiso, you know what I mean? Emmett Till, Medgar Evans, Robert Kennedy, John F. Kennedy. They were the Temptations because they fought for freedom. And so you got to be able, but they left a task that's unfinished, and that's what you and I are going to do. Finish that task. Keep marching, keep singing, keep praying, and we shall overcome. Because we're going to do it together, black and white alike, working together simultaneously for a better America.
You know, he don't even need you.
Spirit.
He doesn't need you.
No.
Just turn it on.
Yeah. If Don King,
we need each other. We can't go with that. That's where you get so carried off with your lawfully aspirations and self-aggrandizement, you forget that you do need each other.
What? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, and I need you. Oh, man, without you, we're nothing.
He's always complaining. I happen to be a big Democrat, and Anthony is always complaining about the taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Going to like Obama's going to raise taxes, but I always say you have to have it to give it away, right?
That's right. Not only that, what do you get the goods and services? How do you have to have? You have to write it on before you write it off. You know what I mean? And how do you get the goods and services? How do you get the electricity? Get this, that. All these things are
by
goods
paying my
and
electric
services.
bill, Don.
No, but they didn't get there by paying the electric bill. They was creating electricity. You know what I mean? When that little guy with the little key and Benjamin Franklin shooting up there and a lightning bolt hit the to start out doing it. Henry Ford making the car. We outsource all of our jobs, and then we complain about why we ain't got no working here.
Well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true.
You know what I mean?
I
So we do all those things. What you call, that's what you call the slave master mentality, capitalism with the slave master mentality, where you can work people, they don't have no rights. They want you to work and get you for cheap. If you start arguing about, I'm putting in too much time for too little money, get out of here. You go to the police, hey, you're an alien, get out. You know what I mean? That's your alien problem. You know what I mean? So when you want to work people and get for nothing, and then you get the unions, you build up all these wonderful things, 5 days a week, 4 days a week, get the benefits, and then you go behind their back and go get the thing 10 times cheaper, leave the union standing there. Now they say they want to go on a strike, and you say, oh, this is un-American. They don't want to do the right thing. You know what I mean? So we want it both ways. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. You got to go for the betterment of America first, and then party second.
That's true. I've been doing my part. I pay a lot of taxes.
That's right, and you make a lot of money. You couldn't pay them if you didn't have no money. You got 40% of the population don't pay no taxes.
I'm a 50-50 partner with the United States government.
There you go. What a wonderful thing. God bless you, man. I salute you. Yeah,
I kind of wasn't putting it that way.
My fellow American, right
it's
on.
not a wonderful thing.
That is great. That is so great, man.
He's turned Anthony around. This is
Anthony is great, man. And Opie, this is what it's all
how he
about.
does it, man. He just keeps talking. You're like, all right, I'll sign it. Whatever. $5 a fight. You get the rest of it.
And then you got the protection. The security, our troops, man, support our troops, the vanguard of our nation that enables us to do this. How are you going to support them if you don't have the taxes?
That's why, at least, when I pay taxes, at least if I know if it's going to a rivet to a tail fin of a bomb, I feel okay.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's good. That's what Obama is doing now. He's bringing transparency. We've been
bringing in rivets.
We've been getting all these stories, but we don't know what's really going on. You just said it. You want to know where your money is going, how it's going to be spent. Now, when he tries to do that, they say, oh, look at him. He's going to take over the government. He's going to take over GM. They're going to do this. What do they want? The $350 billion that they gave before, they didn't have no restraints. They didn't have no kind of regulations. What the hell's going on with the taxpayers' money? Now you go in and you say, you ain't going to do this. We're going to restructure. We're going to quit giving you money to a failed operation. We're going to put in Operation X that's going to be profitable or nothing. You know, oh, look at him now. He's taking over the government. He's doing it, taking over the company. What do you want? Do you want to live in prosperity, peace, and understand safety and security for your family, education for your kids? You know what I mean?
I'd like a little more transparency with Congress.
We're going to work on that.
That'd be a nice thing.
Well,
see where that money's going to. When you have an 11,000 page bill,
you got a right to ask for that. Yeah, but you know what? Ask for that. Don't quit condemning with the big broad brush. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, this is what we do. We get caught out there. Right? You know what I mean? Opie, I'm telling you,
Jimmy tells me all the time.
He condemns with a giant spit, and I'm like, dude, it's a new day. And
it's a new day. Yeah. That's what it is.
It's a new day. Yeah.
A new day. You remember that?
It's gonna be Jimmy's last day.
Yeah. Well, don't be vindictive. Be with love. Remember that Jesus in Revelation chapter 16, behold.
Yeah.
I make all things new. Former things are passed away. I mean, it's a new day. You can't keep hanging on. You know what I mean? At the same time, saying you want something new, you won't change.
That's very good. I understand that.
And you're doing well.
How come they don't do that to the bankers, though?
The same thing. That's what they didn't do, and that's why the mistake. Now he's trying to correct the mistakes of previous
By
activity.
yelling at guys who make cars.
Bankers,
Hey, you car makers!
You're the problem.
Yeah, you're the problem. But that's $750 billion that bankers kept, and they bought up other banks.
GM, the guy.
Yeah, it's going to be. Listen, man, we got to go out there. We got to just restructure and go out there and work together. You know what I mean? We gave this other thing 300 years to get in this position. Let's give us 300 years now to go forward.
Well, I know you're going to be very sympathetic, but with wearing a button the size of one of the Spartan shields.
Yes, you know what? That's
that is a big Obama button.
All the 44 presidents.
Oh, is that it?
That's what that is. 44.
But look at what it gets
right in the middle.
Obama's in the middle.
The zeitgeist, the spirit of the time.
The tastiest part of a Cinnabon.
Yes, that's right. Right in the middle. Remember Iowa. Iowa is the history, just like we did with Iowa, baby. And, just like we did the Alamo. The Alamo is one of the most patriotic acts in our history. Getting Texas, we're from Santa Ana. You know what I mean? In the 13 days of glory that those guys gave their lives for liberty and freedom. Yeah, at the Alamo. Now, Iowa, 96.5 white, 1% black, and 2% something else. All right, now they voted and it started the machine for
See
a
how
change.
Scary black people are?
Yes.
1% scared 99% of the white people.
See that? That's what it is. You see what I mean? Those kind of remarks, you know what I mean? They go on coupling with negative associations.
The guy was 8
This
feet
is great.
tall.
And Iowa set the tone for the nation. This is the greatest country in the world, man. So be glad that you consider it, because it used to be a place, if you speak in expectancy Deutsch, you know what I mean? You belong my English, and they come in and do it, So you got to be able to deal with it,
You're
man.
talking about Nazi Germany, my friend.
Yes.
And,
don't forget it.
We all know how that ended.
And you don't forget it.
We all know how that ended.
Those suffer from amnesia. That's when you have a short-sighted memory.
Right.
Remember where we come from. The Doughboys over there. We're going to solve the problem over there.
Right.
We ain't coming back. The Doughboys, the America, man.
And then a few years later, we were back.
Yeah, remember Pearl Harbor, baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't forget it. You know what I mean? So we can overcome it, and we can adjust, but don't forget.
No,
exactly. You know what I mean? Yes, don't forget. You know what I mean?
I'll agree with you.
This is a great country, man.
Where'd you get that jacket?
Yeah.
Well, a guy named Tony Alamo made this jacket. He made me too. And it was really outstanding because it brings the spirit of America. You got Iwo Jima, where the Marines made their finest hour in the Pacific. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, the raising of the flag there.
Iwo
Jima, Mount Rushmore.
E pluribus unum, one. Out of many comes one. So this is what it's all about, you know what I mean? And then you got to hear Mount Rushmore with all the former presidents. You know what I mean?
Looks like John Lennon, though.
Yes,
His artwork's not
good man. Lennon was a good man, personal friend. You know what I mean? With the Beatles.
Bam.
Bring in the Beatles, man. And so now, you know what I mean? What happened when we got guys that go out and knock people off?
They must giggle their asses off when you get that dry cleaned.
Oh, man, it's a mom. They charge a lot of money.
I bet they do, huh?
But you got to have a lot of money to get charged.
Are the buttons weighing it down, though? It looks like a very heavy jacket, Don.
Yeah, but this is the big
You're wearing flair like you work at Fridays.
Yes. America, man, the greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I love America.
Hey, what about Mike Tyson? He's got a documentary coming out, and you're not treated very kindly in it. I mean,
it doesn't matter. You got to understand what the mentality has been such that the stereotype image of blacks in America has been that they're lazy, lethargic, they can't rise to the occasion, they all lie, cheat, and steal, they're shiftless, worthless, and no account.
Come on.
That's the image. That's the image, you know what I mean?
Why is he reading your mind?
So what you got to do, you got to couple with negative association. If you would say how bad I am, they would say, oh man, that's the white guy saying that about the black guy. They always do that. So they got to do, they got to get a black guy to see it, so then they can propound it and propagate it, and then they can add their thoughts to the black guy. Say, it ain't me, it's what he said.
Shit, he's on to us.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He did it. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to deal with that. All I can say about Mike Tyson that he was a great athlete, a great fighter. You know what I mean? They lost this way, but that's it. You got Muhammad Ali, every knee must bend, every head must bow, every tongue must confess thou art the greatest of all times, Muhammad Ali. Then you got George Foreman, now he's a Jolly Brown giant selling hamburgers and whatever now, multi-millionaire. You know what I mean? So you got
little jealousy there? Little jealousy?
No, man. Proud. Don't think. Look, I was a part of his life. You know what I mean? Julio Cesar Chavez, an icon in Mexico. Viva Mexico. Viva Mexico. Tito Trinidad in Puerto Rico. Viva Puerto Rico. Viva Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? So you got people from all shades, all places, coming from all different colors, races, creeds, and religions. So it's about America, the melting pot. New York is so great they named it twice. New York. You know what I mean? It's fabulous, man. So let's go to Madison Square Garden. Let's get in shape. Let's go to the boardwalk in Atlantic City. I got a street in Atlantic City on the boardwalk, Don King Plaza.
Don King Plaza?
Yeah, right over there next to Donald Trump. Big Don Trump.
Really?
Yeah, the man with the look. You know, I love Big Don Trump. He's a great guy.
Yeah, you get along with Trump?
Oh, man, do I get along, man. We like the Corsican brothers. If you stick him, I hurt. Oh!
You guys must
You know what I mean? This is great, man. This
guys must just talk
what a
about
radio
how great
program.
America
Serious
is.
radio, boy. This is it. This makes me feel good. Opie, yeah. This is fabulous, man. You know, where did you get the opportunity to have a radio program such as this? This is strong. It's great. It's always spreading energy.
Only in America,
It is
right?
a terrific. Goes all over the country, and even those who are etching in, hawking in, getting it from around the world. So you got everything here. You're speaking to the people, and the people are the most important. Don't ever forget
Living
that.
in America.
Yeah, give it to me. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, this is great. This is serious, baby. This is serious business. Anthony and Opie.
And he's got the game coming out.
Yeah.
It's just,
Oh, man,
you
the
got
game of
things
life.
going on.
For the Wii
Oh,
and the
man.
Nintendo DS.
What else is going on in the life of Don King right now?
Well, we got the game that's going to be playing to different extensive parts of letting little kids. A little girl did 7,160 jump ropes, broke the record at the game shop over there with Big Dan at the GameStop over here on the whatever avenue is on. But the idea, I mean, it's unbelievable. She got so engrossed into the game, then she started jumping, and that guy doing the crisscross rope, doing all those different things, and she broke the record. She won a game. She won 7,160.
That's amazing.
Her name is Jasmine Fasu. I'm telling you, it's fabulous that what you can see that this game can get them. And so old guys that figure they were worthless now, nothing is done, you're looking bad. You get them into the game, next thing you know, they're young and reinvigorated. They feel good all over again, mentally, psychologically, and physically.
I
and
sit
every
on my
now
ass
and
and
then,
shoot things
they
when I play
rise to the
games.
occasion.
I'm
You gotta
terrible.
get this game, man. This game is really where it's
I
at.
sit on my ass. I shoot things in games.
Yeah, but now you won't sit on your ass. You'll be shooting things other
You
places.
got. Oh.
Yeah. How sweet it is. Yes, how sweet it is. You know what I mean? These are the qualities that the body makes.
Don,
It's going to be fabulous.
breathe, Don.
Oh,
breathe,
yes.
Oh, he's breathing.
Breathe.
Oh, this
Are
is
you
so
on Red
Breathes in
Bull?
between the words.
What's your drink in the morning? Red Bull?
No, you know what it is? It's just breathing the air of freedom, liberty, and justice, and hope,
You
and
can't get him out of it. He
and
goes right
giving
back
you
in it.
invigoration.
Like
you know what I
Superman.
mean? You know what I mean? It's so great. And the women in this country are so beautiful. Black and white are like they're just like a breath of fresh air, the sweet morning dew. Intoxicatingly beautiful.
Like walking down the
we
street.
don't know how blessed we are. You know, you can use the male chauvinistic approach. You can always think that you're intimidating and you're big and you doing this and that and other. But just think about that lady, that beautiful lady. You know what I
look
mean?
at some of those former Soviet bloc country girls.
Yeah.
They're not so good.
Oh, man. I'm
Not
telling
so
you.
good.
Not so much.
Oh,
Not
beauty's
so
in the
much.
eyes of
Not
the
so
beholder.
much.
You know what I mean? So
Wow.
you got it, man. When you got a good show like Anthony and Opie, we
I like
got
the
an
way you say
opportunity. We got we can inform the people. Communication is success. You must pass it on. You know what I mean? Communicate, relate, identify with.
That's what I do on Pal
But
Talk.
don't you ever get like upset at all with this country? Don't you ever just kind of
There's
feel?
nothing you saw that said,
Absolutely, you get upset. You get upset when you see, I think of Thomas Jefferson when he says, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just. He said, and his justice can't sleep forever. When you find a guy like this, at the same time he got a slave concubine, at the same time he's a hypocrite. He said, the only way we could go to the Lord to say the way we're living was to say that we're hypocrites. And that's what, this is Thomas Jefferson, back at the same time while they got Sally Hennings. You know what I mean? So, you know, they propagate one thing, they say one thing, they do another. Abraham Lincoln, he says, you know, a house divided can't stand. He said, then you should be what you want to be a slave. You know what I mean?
But don't you think this is a great country, though?
It's a great country, but you know why? Because the wisdom of the founding fathers who put the thing together said it right out there, but we didn't live up to what we said. Was it the self-evident truth or the self-evident lie? It was the self-evident truth, but we lived the self-evident lie.
I think it was the times.
Yeah, so now things is changing, man.
But sometimes
We're going back.
things do upset you, though.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? You got a problem. You know, if you love somebody and you care about them, you got to be able to understand their aches and pains, their problems, and try to straighten them out and try to make it better. You know what I mean? You don't go out and condemn. You want to kill. You want to annihilate because you got a problem. Solve the problem.
You got an invite to the White House?
All the time. Just
Really?
like a revolving door.
All the time. Must be
All
nice.
the time, like a revolving. I was with George Walker Bush. I think a revolutionary president that prepared the road for Obama to be there. You know what I mean? He had the most diversified cabinet. Yes, he did. I don't know about his fiscal policies because you and I can sit here on Sirius Radio, Anthony, and we can be able to discuss the world's problems, but we don't really know. All right, but what we do know is what we see. He had the most diversified cabinet of anybody in the history of any president in the history of this country. Yeah. And he took two shiftless, worthless, no account, lazy, lethargic, lying, cheating blacks and put them in the security of our nation. So he was either touched by God or he was insane. One way or the other. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we had like this. So now he had Colin Powell security, and he had Condoleezza Rice. I mean, so then from that you got from Rod Page with education. You know what I mean? And so Alfonso Jackson, HUD. This is George Walker Bush. That's why everybody want to condemn him. Mm-hmm. He was a good man, a revolutionary, because he had the word inclusive. Inclusive, and that began the turmoil that starts out that ends up now with Obama being in the White House.
Well, that is true. Bush gets a bad rap. He gets a bad rap by because black people in general are not known to love George Bush, or at least not publicly.
You know why? Because the same circumvention that the whites was doing to the blacks when they were calumniating and just stereotyping. That's what they did to George Walker Bush. George Walker Bush's PR machine was absolutely nil. You know what I mean? One of the best PR men in the history of mankind was Joseph Goebbels. He's a guy that could make a person that lived next door to each other all their life when he gets
rat them out.
And when the Gestapo knocked on their door, they didn't have nobody to holler outrage to. You know what I mean?
Well,
George is a good man. George Walker Bush,
not
man.
For long.
You know what I mean? But you got to understand something, man. George Walker Bush loved America. And so he proved it, but he did not espouse it. He didn't do like what the rabbi told me. Whenever you do something good, and put it out there. No matter what they say about you trying to be more popular, you want to do this. He said, let the other person answer you that don't agree with you. Then who's the recipient that you're giving the gift to? They're the beneficiary. He said, but stay out there and let them all know. So you got to be out there and you got to work. That's why you do such a wonderful job. You're a great antagonist. You are foil. You make people bring it out. You know what I mean? Because you agitate them. You keep pushing them. And then when they come out with it, you say, yes, now you know the problem can be discussed because the medicinal qualities of the air is what's going to make the change. You can't hide them under the rug and say you're going to change it. You know what I mean?
How Don goes from talking about Goebbels to a rabbi in one sentence.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
But it makes sense.
The guy's got the talent, man. No matter whether he's bad, good, or indifferent, the man was a PR man personified.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he did what he did. He had to convince the people of their will. Convince the man against his will, he'll be of the same opinion still. If you can convince me to do something that is wrong, and I think wrong is right, you done a hell of a job. You know what I mean? So he did it by all the different things that we now quantify and qualify as seductive relations, this one and that one. Yeah. He was doing it back then, 29 and 30, to change a nation and then almost change the whole world by using signs, flags.
Yeah.
Making up all kind of statements and things, you know what I mean? So this is what you got to look at. And then what did you get out of it? The Holocaust.
When is the last?
I've been there to Dachau, Mauthausen, Auschwitz. I've been to all of them. I go out there and see man's inhumanity to man.
You like educating yourself with travel and history.
Absolutely.
And things
you know
like
what?
That.
It means so much, Anthony. Because you open your eyes in the darkness, take away the veil.
You can just say you're a
see.
fan of the era, and things like that.
Yes, love the people, man.
That's
the people are so important.
Yep.
Oh, what a wonderful host you are.
Glad you agree with something like that, because it is very important to remember history, lest you repeat it.
Yes, that's right. You know what I mean? Know why you're coming and why you're going. You're doing it, man. This is serious radio with Anthony and Opie. This is what you're talking about.
Jim Norton.
Yeah,
that's great.
This is great. I'm so excited.
You're a very charismatic, powerful speaker. You know that. Who's the last person, and this is an honest question, who's the last person that kind of just had you sitting there listening quietly?
Rich Voss.
I don't mean that in a bad way, but like you pretty much you look at when we were kings, you're talking to Ali and James Brown, and they're both listening to you, which is a pretty to hold court in front of those guys is fucking fairly impressive.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, Simon Wiesenthal. Simon Wiesenthal told me that one person can make a difference. When they had him here for the HBO special that he was doing, the documentary, I had opportunity to have dinner with him. And he said he said he was a Nazi hunter, and he said that even his wife became questioning to him. She was frustrated. 30 years, what are you doing? He said, if God gave him the vision to be able to know that a Nazi killer was going to die in 30 days, he would have to prosecute him and convict him in 15 days because he couldn't have let him go to the grave as a natural death without the world knowing this man is a killer, this man did this, and this. He said you can make a difference, you have to make the charge, you have to make the commitment, and you can make it. So Simon Wiesenthal, he was just a great man, he survived the Holocaust, he survived, and he kept fighting and fighting for a better life, for the people, never again. So you got to understand that we have to do the same thing.
He certainly was tenacious.
Yes,
yeah.
and work at it. Working together works, man. Black and white alike, making this country what it can be. Rise up to meet his challenge. Fulfill his prophecy. Yes.
You're inspiring.
One nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
We need some
and we get out there. America, then we got to go out and get our game so we can play. That is it, man.
It's amazing.
Don't ever forget it.
It's like
it's a grand old flag, baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy. Yes, I went over there to London town to ride that pony. You know what I mean?
Were you always this patriotic? Or everyone knows you went to jail, you came out, you became a promoter, you made a lot of money. Was it when you got out and you thought like, all right, I was in prison for 4 years, almost 4 years, and then you become this success? Is that what?
In prison is what I don't recommend prison to anyone, but I can tell you this, that I made the time serve me rather than to serve the time. That opened my eyes to find out that it ain't all me and I, it is we and us. Me, we together, you know what I mean? So that's what it is, and one man needs the other. In Matthew 7:12 it says, do unto others as you would have others to do unto you. You know what I mean? Then it also says, knocking, the door shall be open, seeking you shall find, asking you shall be given. You got to be able to utilize those things and make them happen. So what it did, it opened my eyes, you know what I mean, that the world wasn't centered around me and I, it was around we and us. You know what I mean? And so, we are brothers keepers whether we want to be or not. You know what I mean? So what affects one affects all. I think Martin Luther King put it together when he said we are caught in a network, a mutual network of mutuality. I think whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. He said any injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So you got to be able to deal with that. And once you can resolve and come to your senses that you know that everybody is there and everybody deserves an opportunity and everybody needs to respect the dignity of human worth, then you got something that you can work on. And so I come out of the prison, you know what I mean, but I was liberated. My mind, we got so many people out here in the free world that are mentally incarcerated and they don't want a parole. Everybody in jail was trying to break out or find some way to get out, you know what I mean? These people don't want no parole.
You know what's odd? You seem like a very spiritual guy, and you have a knowledge of religion and the Bible and stuff, but you have this reputation of the almighty dollar. It seems like kind of a clash
you know what?
in personality.
That is again because, Anthony, this is what they do to you. You must realize that what they say with the reputation, that is why Shakespeare says, you say, take my purse, it is trash, it is the slave of me today, the slave of you tomorrow. But my reputation, that costs you nothing. It devastates me. They ruin my reputation. So what they do when they can't beat you no other way, they start to vilifying you, castigating you, you know what I mean? Saying all different type of things. And so this is what they do when they find a person that I can stand. If I was all the things that they said I was, then you got to say you need a new Interpol, you need a new IRS, you need a new CIA, you need a new police department, a sheriff department, because I couldn't be sitting here talking to one of the greatest hosts in Sirius Radio, Anthony, and dealing with it if I was doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing that is wrong. Right. You know what I mean? So they gonna put that reputation when they can't beat you another way. They done tried to send me to jail. They done indicted me 4 times. My government, the one that I love, but it's the ones who are running it was given a problem. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They seized the power, and in that power, Lord Acton said power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. People get in powerful positions, you know what I mean? They use their own vanity and selfish invested interest rather than the interest of the people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you find those things. So you're going to have people that will castigate me, vilify me. So be it. You let them come, you know what I mean? But when you got God on your side, you know what I mean? Faith will see you through. If you got faith, cast your bread upon the water, you get back cash. But if you don't have faith, you get back soggy bread. You know what I mean? So you got to have faith, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I deal with faith and just keep on going, man.
Balancing act.
Yeah, so they going out there and talk about Don King is doing a rob. How you going to rob a man and they ain't got nothing? I mean, if you just take an object dispassionately, you get a guy suffering from poverty, despair, hopelessness, and helplessness. You reach out, you get him, and he uses physical powers to build him into something that he would not have been.
Right.
You go out like John the Baptist, the voice crying in the wilderness, saying about how great he is and what he is. You're not worthy of tying his shoelace. You make him rich, and then they say you robbed him. I mean, it's the craziest thing you ever seen. If you rob him, he didn't even have shoes to put on. You know what I mean? I mean, but these are the things they do, but people just grab this because they hear it. And it sounds good, so we go with it. You know what I mean? Don't do no thinking.
Gotcha.
Do no thinking.
Lennox Lewis sued you for $385 million. Which is a lot. It's a big lawsuit. That's gotta be horrifying.
It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket because they're only playing the games of semantics. He had a good lawyer named Judd Bernstein who could go out for the big things. Always go for something big, and then if something trickle down, you still have something left. You know what I mean? But the idea of it is they sue. You know, that's the greatness of America, that you have a right to protest, to demonstrate for your grievances, the First Amendment, and then what you have a right to sue. You know, if you think you've been wrong. So now they start making
if that don't work, there's the Second Amendment.
So the right to bear arms. You know what I mean? So you know, this is what they do. You know what I mean? So hey, everybody wants to sue. Everybody wants to sue. I used to sit on the stoop. That's my car. That's my car. That's my car. Then I would punch my friend because I said it first. You can't say that I had that thing there. Well, you know, now we can own those cars. We can deal with that in America, only in America. So you got an opportunity here, man, to be what you want to be in the greatest country in the world, but be able to do it. Yes, this is a great country. You know, yes.
That is true, Don King. You
a
can
new
be.
country conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Yes.
Fantastic.
I agree with you.
One nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, what a country.
I believe every word he says.
Yes.
Yes. It makes it feel so good, and when you hear that music, it inspires your heart and motivates you, and you think about just how close we come to disaster with the Axis powers. You know what I mean? When we had the great Franklin Delano Roosevelt at the helm. You know, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to deal with it. You know what I mean? An infamous attack on us on December 7, 1941.
FDR was great, but you gotta love what old Hank Truman did.
Oh yes, he was good too.
It's like, let's put an end to this now.
Drop another one. There it is. There it is. Now, you know, so you got to always remember that when you do that, somebody gonna be hurt. Somebody ain't gonna forget it. You know what I mean? So, but you do what you have to do, what is right, and you keep on marching.
Spider-Man's uncle said, "With great power comes great responsibility."
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Quotes, sir.
And
Not as good as yours.
accountability
That's
too.
right.
Accountability and a responsibility.
Another great man once said, "So what? She has a dick. She's still a pretty girl." That great man was Jim Norton.
Jim Norton.
Yes.
That man was Jim Norton.
Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite person ever? Do you have a favorite person?
I have a favorite person. When he sits side, looks low, and keeps his eye on the sparrow. You know what I mean? But the idea of it is what you're saying is so true, because what you're just saying, while we say it in jest,
Who said Mia Farrow?
No, who is your favorite person?
You got to realize that you got to give another person a chance. You know what I mean? That good woman. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's because she's bisexual. You know what I mean? Does that mean that she's supposed to be condemned? No. You know what I mean? No. All right. So that's what you say. Open your eyes. Open your eyes and see. Open your mind and open your heart. You know what I mean? He's unfortunate or she's fortunate. Who knows?
Who's your favorite person?
Some tells me Don's favorite person is the guy that stares back at him as he brushes his teeth in the morning.
No, that's Anthony. I'm surprised.
That's vanity. I know you would be guilty of that.
You can't get with vanity.
You're not guilty of that.
You know what I mean?
Don.
You got to deal with what Shakespeare said about adversity. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which ugly and venomous like the toad, yet wears a precious jewel in there. You find a jewel in adversity. You know, Mark Anthony.
Muhammad Ali, then?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali was great. He was a great fighter. He was a great person, great fighter.
Who's your favorite person?
My favorite person is...
I want the answer to Jimmy's question.
Yeah, I'm curious as to who do you like? Who do you like, kind of like, if you like idolize, or who did you?
Oh, that kind of way you're talking about, because I like all the people. So, but if one who stands out as a prophet of peace, it would be somebody like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, and he's like Prophet Isaiah. Prophet Isaiah says those who renew their hope in the Lord can soar on wings like eagles. They can run and not be weary. They can walk and not be faint. So you got to understand. So these are the things you got to be able to deal with. And when you find people that are prophesying peace and understanding, love, togetherness, and this is what you want to do. And this is what you do. You bring out the part where you make people get upset, and then you make them come back and be good. But if you didn't talk about it, you could never get it exposed to the medicinal qualities of the air. to cure it. Debate and discussion. That's what makes democracy so fantastic. You got a right to talk about it.
Do you think that peaceful demonstrating like Martin Luther King is a thing of the past? Like that just, it doesn't happen
Never.
anymore?
It would always be there because that's what the First Amendment, the right to protest and demonstrate, the right to freedom of speech. You're always going to have a difference of opinion. You're going to always have two different ways to do it, some by selfish interest, some by the betterment of the country's interest. All right, so I'm a Republican. I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. I'm for whoever's good for America. And I go from one party to the other because John F. Kennedy told me that, sometimes party loyalty asks too much. You must be able to deal with what is real and practical and what's appropriate. And when you do that, you got to do what's for the betterment of all the people. You know what I mean? The lumpen proletariat to the elitists.
You're not going to follow the entire party line.
Some of them do. Some of them have to do it, even though they know it be wrong, and that's right. And so we have a lot of puppets, and we have a lot of puppeteers.
Pick and choose. When I go to a Chinese restaurant, I'm not just one column.
There you go.
I go one, I like a little General Chow's, and then I want some fried rice.
Anthony,
Two different sides of the menu, my friend.
And you got such a great name, you know what I mean? Yay, two Brutus, you know what I mean? You remember Mark Anthony when they were going to put the dag in you two Brutus? You two guys.
Sure.
I can't believe this, you know what I mean? But he also had a good side. Now, when he rode Cleopatra down the Nile, he says age cannot wither her, nor custom, still, or infinite variety. She takes perfection, imperfection, and makes perfection.
You see that, Brutus? This guy understands me.
This guy, he's great.
A great man
I'm a lot like Mark Anthony. You're right.
Yes, you are. You got great talent.
Hey, a great man once said, "I ruin things."
Yeah.
That would be
Steve Carlisi.
Steve Carlisi. You know anything on Steve?
Yes.
No, I don't know too much about
Steve Carlisi.
Now, what was
Great
his
American.
Middleweight
fighter.
I ruined things. It was a self-deprecating thing. He was known as the Great Bear, and he was a great radio producer.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If he ruined things, at least he let us know what we have to build. We have to refurbish, redecorate, whatever to do. So at least he gave us a basis. That you can't beat that. The veracity of Steve was great. You know what I mean?
The veracity of Steve.
Hey, Mad Dog is outside the studio.
Oh, Mad Dog. I love
Mad Dog.
I love Mad Dog.
Mr. Mad Dog Russo.
We should have Mad Dog come in at least to say hi to Don King.
Mad Dog. I was with him yesterday.
Oh, you know the Mad Dog?
Yeah, Mad Dog. I didn't get to the show, but we met in the elevator.
Mad Dog Russo.
He probably wanted you on his show there, Don.
Yeah, I know. He told me he did.
Oh, talking about the boss.
I love Mad Dog. I think he's great.
There he is.
Mad Dog! Mad Dog! Love you, man! Love you! This is great! This is great! How are you? Hey, there's a Mad Dog is here. He's in the house.
Hey, baby.
And he's going to play the Don King boxing game because it's a game of life.
Boxing's for the sport, Don?
Yeah! Mad Dog! Mad Dog!
Is boxing style? Hello. How are you, buddy?
What's up, bro?
Don, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mad Dog, and I'm just so delighted that you entered into the fray. Opie and Anthony, they're doing such a marvelous job on Sirius Radio.
You're
but
perhaps
now
talking
the
the whole
pro. Yes, it's here, man. This is what it's all about. And my game is the game of life. Mad Dog, you got to tell them. You got to have it because it's an aphrodisiac for those who are looking for something in the capacity of feeling good. And for the others, is get you physically fit so you can go out there and brave the hazards of the inclement weather and whatever the problems may be that beleaguer you that day. And it teaches you that you can overcome no matter what. Ain't nothing so dire and so bad that you can't see it. You got to be able to fight back.
He's got style.
You know what I mean? So deal with it.
Yeah. No, he's literally got a game.
He's promoting his video game.
Yeah.
We
He's got a video game.
Boxing game.
Yeah,
but it's
boxing game.
actual.
But it's a game of life.
Stuff, and you got exercise and everything, and then work your fighter up. But you actually have to exercise.
That's so good, Anthony. It's
my God.
you got be in Madison Square Garden. You got real live venues. You got video on demand. Then you got venue on demand. You can go to any venue you want. You can fight any fighter that you want to fight.
Can I be the Thriller in Manila?
Get it, baby. With what you say? What's that? Ferdinand Marcos and Imelda. I made the New York Times dancing with her. With all the shoes that she had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Ferdinand Marcos. You know what I mean? He took me all around to Bataan, Corregidor, Okinawa, Iwo Jima. You know what I mean? When I went over there to the Philippines,
Okinawa,
yes, that was great, man, to show what our American troops can do.
Yeah.
Support our troops. Support our troops.
Absolutely.
I love you, America.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right,
and I'm 101st Airborne, Screaming Airborne,
Oh, yeah?
Yes. This is really something, man.
Let's get Chris Russo involved here. He's attempting to ask a question. None of us have been successful asking the question.
We have to do something to resurrect the sport. Because
Yes,
nobody cares anymore.
We got to get heroes. He said a very salient and profound statement. We're in search of. You remember that song, the Coasters saying, searching every which way? That's what we got to do now. We're searching for somebody, what Chris just said, to bring back and bring redemption. You know what I mean? Back to the sport.
Former glory.
Yeah, the pride and glory is what really makes everything happen. You don't have to trade one in for the other. You get the money and the pride and glory. But now we're looking for what channel you're going to be on, what you're going to do, how much money I'm going to get. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't put that in before the people. We the people. That's why we say in our Constitution, we the people. You know what I mean? Got to promote the general welfare, establish, prosperity.
There's a lot of Bible, too.
And boxing.
You gotta love him.
And boxing's in there, too.
We need
Boxing,
some
the Bible,
fighters.
and
We the people
we
need
need
fighters.
a Joe Louis. We need Jack Jackson.
There you go.
We need some
Muhammad
fighters.
Ali or Mike Tyson or George Foreman.
Good old
We need
George,
somebody.
right.
Don't you
know what
think
I mean?
MMA is kind of taking,
Yes.
like,
MMA.
put by boxing in the back seat?
No, it isn't. It's just another part in the extension. MMA is really great. MMA is the original. It was the knockdown, drag out. You do 80 rounds, 60 rounds, 50 rounds. It brought the Marcus of Queensberry into the fray to put some civility to it and to put some rules and regulations. Anytime of the year you can hit a guy, anytime you want to hit him, you get tired, you can kick him. You can kick him. You get tired, you can butt him in the head. You know what I mean? Whatever you do by any means necessary, you have to go out there to win. Now, when boxing is artistic, you know what I mean? You got to be able to hit and not get hit. You got to be able to use
You got 4
your
years
skill,
for
you know what I
MMA
mean?
way back in the day.
Yeah, so MMA is a regular
Really?
thing. Every day on the street is MMA. You know what I mean? And I love MMA. I'm going ready to go out there and go back and start helping them and show them where it come from, the Asian continent, and from martial arts and things out of Japan, the jiu-jitsu and the other one with the ding
That other thing.
yeah, in China. So you got it all, man. But it's all a part of entertaining the people. We're in a crisis. We need relief. You got to entertain people, because if they start really thinking about how dire things are, then they become distressed and then they make erroneous decisions.
I agree with you.
All right, he's breathing.
I heard
That's
that.
our chance.
Okay.
Wow. That's good.
Who's a better fighter than Fedor Emelianenko in the world, do you think?
Yeah.
The one, is that the Russian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Russian, he has no personality, but he can fight, and he's not not a real big guy.
Right.
But when he hit you with a power punch, you know what I mean, that it really takes him out. And I think that he needs promotion. You know what I mean? He needs a voice created in the waters, just because I may have to help him. Donald Trump called me up about this guy. He's with Affliction, and they got this guy there, and but they don't know what to do with him. So he told him, he said, you better get Big Don, talking about me. You know what I mean? But I am thinking about doing something else differently, but to get into the MMA, but this guy do need help. They sent me a resume on him in the bio, you know what I mean? And so he's been that's a good example of the difference between an American and the Russian there. He's dry, he's there, he's a matter of fact, it's no humor.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna bring you 15 girls. No. You know what I mean? So anything.
It
I
seems
think I
like
beat you, you can't. You know what I mean?
But Chris is right, though. The boxing needs
And needs heroes.
A hero. It needs
needs
the big
heroes.
guy. The big.
We
when
need heroes.
Tyson was fighting in that heyday, you could not.
Absolutely.
Everyone was getting pay-per-view to see him
Oh,
just
yeah.
Yes.
go out there for 30 seconds and kick someone's ass.
And let's not forget, Tyson started on NBC. You got to put some of these fights on free TV.
Yeah, free TV.
That's
everything.
exactly right. We lost it.
Don doesn't like that
ABC
front
Wide
thing.
World of Sport. No.
Yeah.
ABC Wide World of Sports, CBS Sports, and NBC.
You're right.
You know what I mean? You got to have, that was a breeding ground. They wouldn't let them people get a chance to see and make the marriage
Saturday
between
night
the public.
fights. Get
You
'em
know what I
hooked,
mean?
right, Don?
And you
Get
get
'em
the
hooked.
people. Give it to the people.
free.
They stop doing that.
Give it to them free, and then you start charging slowly and
They
tell their
become
friends to
heroes.
come.
That's what makes heroes. Nobody don't know you. You could be the greatest star in the world, but nobody know it but you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got to let the world know. That's why I love Mad Dog.
And that's what.
See, this is what the
Don
difference
always
is.
did.
Give it to the people, man.
Don would always be out there up front promoting.
You got to
showing these
understand.
people off, showing these big gladiators off.
Absolutely. Give it up close and personal. I started that with Rune Ardich. You know what I mean? Working out where you let the people know about their family, their background, what happened. I got into boxing, not here. I had to go to Africa in the wilds of the jungle, or the dark continent, as they would call it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because you couldn't get here because segregation and racism prevented me from doing it. I had the two greatest athletes of the time, George Foreman and Ali, both signed no money, but a big promise. Because everybody's big in promises in America. You know what I mean? So I found that out, so I started promising too. All right? Now you got to fulfill the promise. But I had to go all around the world. And then end up in Kinshasa, Zaire to get there to be able to put on the biggest event, the Rumble in the Jungle. And then the same thing with the Thriller in Manila. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to deal with that, Joe. You got to understand our faults as well as our good things. But we let the folks take the front ground.
But you know what is even more amazing, Don? That you are the only one that could keep Chris Mad Dog Russo from saying a word.
Hey, he's been good.
Mad Dog.
Jesus Christ.
You know what, though, Anthony? Chris is a genius because he knows when to listen. Now, when he do talk, he's going to have something to say.
But I guess we're all geniuses today.
You know what I mean? So you got to understand. It's the we game, man. This is what I like about we game. And you are a provocateur. You know just what to do. I've never met no guy on the radio or a host like yourself that can really, you are, indubitably, without a question of a doubt.
Thank you,
sir. You know what I mean? And you bring it out. You invoke this type of discussion and debate. I'm very proud of you.
Tried. Thank you, Mr.
I'm
King.
very proud of you.
Are you proud of Don?
That's fantastic.
Anthony?
Yes, I am. Don's
Ed's
done
proud
a
of you
great
as
job.
well, sure.
What is the
Let's
name
learn
of the
from you,
game?
Don.
What is the name of the game?
The game is Don King Boxing, but it's really Don King, giving you life. You know what I mean? Because it's your life. It ain't about Don King. You just play and you get.
Right.
You can't play this game.
The game is merely a metaphor.
Yeah, that's right. You can't play it unless you work at it.
Right?
You got to be able to
passion in your pocket.
You got to punch. It ain't gonna work by itself. You can't push buttons and get it. You got to actually punch and exercise, jump rope. You got to do the same thing the fighters are doing, and so therefore it gives you physical fitness while you're having fun.
You have to fight and recognize.
That's funny because I drive home just like Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor for an actual thing in my life.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Steering through the dangers, just trying to get home. Home is
trying to
safe.
get home. And home.
And America is home.
It's just life.
America's the greatest country in the world, and a privilege for you to be able to drive home without somebody standing up. Your papers are not in order.
Well, like happened yesterday.
You know what I mean? And give you a chance to be able to do that. This is a great country, and you're hearing it right here on Sirius Radio with Anthony and Opie. And now we have Mad Dog. Chris Mad Dog is on the air.
He used to have him on all the time in FAN, Mr. King, so he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got pepper, he's got personality. That's
He
what you
certainly
like.
does. A little bit.
What
King.
about
It's
George
great.
Foreman complaining that the ropes were too big or too loose in Zaire? Did he ever stop complaining about that, or was it?
Well, he did because it took him. He had to go on to what they call. What do you call it? He's no. He had to. Diet. He went out. He went on. It was a sabbatical or whatever it is, where you stay away for a while. He had to regain his thoughts. George Foreman is one of the greatest guys in the world. I love George Foreman. George Foreman did something that I don't recommend everybody would do, but he signed 7 blank sheets of paper with me back in 1973 and then fulfilled the prophecy with his lawyer, Steve Bomser, out of the San Francisco. We put together that fight with him and Ali. George Foreman got caught up in his own self-aggrandizement for that moment, and he didn't think he could be beat, which is most athletes think the same way. But what happened is it stunned him. But now, when he came back with his new personality, he found God. He understood what it meant to be able to be humble.
It is like two different people when you look at old George Foreman.
I can tell you that it's two different people.
It's two different people.
And now he's the Jolly Brown Giant. He's got a grill that takes the fat away. He cooks hamburgers, like a whoopee.
I got my show with George and George.
Yes. All of his sons is named George.
His son's George.
Yeah, all of them, you know what I mean?
He was up here one day, shake that hand of his. Remember the size of the hand?
Big hand. I love George.
Big hand.
You imagine getting hit with that hand.
Now George is worth, $300 million.
Yeah.
I mean, this is America, man. A poor boy from Texas. You know what I mean? Marshall, Texas, starving to death. You know what I mean? Big family, nothing to eat. They had a little farm out there. And then we got in the crowd.
Then he makes something that cooks food and he gets rich off of it.
And yes, I'm telling you, man, it's ironic.
Trying to point out the irony.
The guy did it, so now he helped a lot of people.
Yeah,
but so I love George, and George is a great guy, and I'm so happy for George. I'm just so proud of him.
Very charitable too.
Yes, philanthropic,
good
man.
Guy. Yes.
Don, he's good. This is so makes me feel good.
All right,
you can fight George in the game. Get the game, man. Get the game. It's an aphrodisiac. It goes everywhere. It does everything.
Don King
Boxing. Don King Boxing.
Yeah, we got to get you out of here, Don. I'm hearing you got to go. They're saying you got to go, Don.
Fantastic,
Where are you
Don.
off to next, Don?
I don't know. I just follow them wherever they lead me. I'm so happy to see Mad Dog, but I got to go on Mad Dog show with Mad Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Mad Dog is bad. That's what you mean good in the vernacular ghetto. Yeah, he's good. Anthony, you know what I mean? You sure how to do it, boy.
Your guy's getting up and everything,
I tried, Don.
Opie, baby.
They're trying to drag you out of here.
Oh, man. What
sucks.
What's in the name?
You have to move on and inspire elsewhere, Mr. King.
Oh, the game. You must get the game.
Don King
You can get it on DS2, for the little kids was $20,
Right.
$19.99, $39.99 is what the game costs, but that's chump change for what you're going to do for yourself.
A
You know what I
small
mean?
price
Do
to
yourself
pay
a-
for
do
physical
yourself a
fitness,
favor.
aphrodisiac,
Oh.
entertainment.
Oh, Anthony, keep
You're getting it
preaching.
all. You're
Oh,
getting it all.
God. Ooh, those are hallowed words. Hallowed words. Did you hear what Anthony said? Opie, woo. Yes, this is what I say. This is a success. This is victory,
Absolutely,
victory.
Don.
Hear my cry.
Absolutely.
B-I-C-T.
Only in America.
Oh,
my
all
friend.
Only in America.
Greatest
Only in America.
nation in the world, and don't you ever forget it.
Don King, thanks so much for
God bless,
coming in.
guys.
You want them to chant your name as you leave, Don?
Thanks, guys. Don
Whatever
King.
they do, it
Don
makes me
King.
good. Me
Don
and
King.
good.
Don King. Don King. Don King. Don King.
America, the greatest nation in the world. Mad Dog Chris, Anthony,
Don King
Opie,
boxing.
everybody, and the
Available
great
for
star
DS.
cast here.
And
Here we
Wayne.
go.
Boxing,
The
Don
great
Trump
star
chain.
cast.
All right,
Get the game now.
Boy, we still
Call
thinking
now,
about.
call
He's still
now,
talking.
call now.
Call him now. Order now. Order soon. Order more.
Sirius XM. This